Hi guys, welcome. Thank you once again for joining. This is Empowerment Network. I am Konfor. In case you are new here, do yourself a favor, guys. Subscribe to any channel you're watching on. Click on the bell because here we deliver very useful information. And tonight I am joined by the formidable force, Jeffrey, Collins, Andy. Hi guys, welcome. So if we apologize that we missed this topic yesterday, but then we're happy because we were missing one person who is actually here today. And Jeffrey, I believe this topic was meant to wait for you. And it says all domain is one of the core foundations of OnPassive. So we hand the mic to Mr. Manna.
Wow. Yeah, just greeting. I'm just glad to be here. When Jeffrey is here, the house is always on fire, which I love it. Really love it. And Andy, number guys, is here. Just want to say hi to everyone who is watching. Please share, because today will be a great day. So we're talking about domain. It's one of the pillar of OnPassive, if we put it that way, the main pillar. So how many pillars do we have? We have 4 pillars. We have domain register. We have the DC, which is the data center. We have the OES with single sign-on, and we have cash register. We know most of them are already done, and some of them are really on their final stage of ready. But now domain register is one of the big, and it's already there. So what is really a domain register or a domain name? So let's look at it this way. Before I even give the definition, I want to look at the way it works in a layman way. Say you have a business, you're planning of creating a business. Any type of business doesn't have to be online. The first thing you need is the location. You need a location where you think your business will be, where people can easily find you. Then when you have that location, what do you need to do? You need a building, say a normal business, a building. You rent a place or something like that. Now, when you rent that place, what do you need to do? You need to stock them with products because people cannot come into an empty building. Yes, they know the location. They know there is a building there, but now what is in that building? You need products. Now, when you have the products, what else do you need? Because people will be coming in, going out. You need cash register, at least something where people can buy in, check out, go put money in, because it's product you are selling. So you have that because that's a traditional way of business. Now you're talking about digital business. You said, all right, this might be business I have. Say, for instance, Walmart. Walmart is, the building is there. That's a traditional business. Now they want to move in this digital age. They want to take it now to the next level, online. So what do they need to take Walmart as Walmart online? They need a location. A location is domain. Because what is a domain? They say domain name is a website digital identity that allows internet users to access your website easily. So it is a digital identity. So people can identify you through that. That is one. Now you've got your domain. That is really the name that you want to call your business. I can call it Konfor. I can call my business this. So that is what Ms. Ashmufara has said to give us, because to have an online presence, you must have a domain name, a domain register. Thank God that OnPassive now has a domain register where they can provide it to as many people who come in and participate into OnPassive. Now, when we have that domain, that is a website name. People can identify your website. You need to build that website. Yes, you have the name. Do you have a website? Yes. In a normal business. Now, we're taking that house now to have an online presence. You have it now. You need to meet engineers to build you the website. They build the website. No, they build the website before you give the domain name. Attach it to that website. Now, the website cannot end there, because empty website, nobody will come. You need to stock them with products. You stock them with products. And when you stock them with products, then you need cash register. That's the process that you go in. Cash register, check in, check out, because the products people need to buy it. Now you need what? A hosting right. Sometimes people, they confuse between host and domain. Domain is just a name to give your name online presence. Now, hosting is where all of those data within your website will be reside. We're talking about data center. You know, a website hosting, you need a data center because you have big data, you have all the products that are coming with data. Now you have a webmasters. You have a business. All of us are not technicians. Not many people are engineers. Even the owner of the business is not an engineer. You need a webmasters, those who manage everything behind the scene for you. Make sure they optimize it. Make sure they plug the products in. Make sure you always have online presence. That's it's called webmaster. They do everything for you while you sleep. OnPassive is doing everything for us while we sleep. Put it, host it, you know, give your domain name, optimize it, make sure you have that online presence. They are the webmasters. They are the optimization of your website. They are the builder of the products. They are the cash registers. They are everything. So domain now is just giving you that presence. And there's a lot of mechanism which we'll break it down, but I'll leave it for my brother Jeffrey to take it from there.
All right. If you choose for your brother Jeffrey to take it from there, I'll let him go.
Boom, baby. We are
Yoo-hoo.
in it. Let me tell you something. I love that you know what you just did, Collins. You just perfectly pushed the gateway open for me because you gave a very broad view of what we're doing. And I'm just going to zero it right in because the topic is domain, right? But before we actually hit on that, we need to back up just a second. I'm going to jump on the same soapbox I've been preaching from for 2 weeks about the foundations that we're building. And one of those is with that ICANN, the ICANN, right? The Internet Corporation of Assigned Names and Numbers, right? We need to tie that into this because that's the nonprofit organization that manifests or manages rather the Internet identifiers you were just talking about, right? I mean, they ensure the stability of the Internet system. So, I mean, this is huge. And every business that wants to become a registrar with direct access to ICANN, right, then they've got to be directly accredited by ICANN to do anything with those domains. We have done that. OnPassive is officially an ICANN accredited registrar, meaning we can do and issue those domains that you're talking about. Each member of OnPassive and each subsequently, any member is going to be able to get their own domain name. And as you have rightly stated, this is our personal real estate in a way. It's our identity or intellectual property, I think Mr. Mufara called it, right? And that becomes our place that we build the business. Now, talking about ODomain specifically, yesterday, Mr. Mufara came on. He indicated that ODomain, and this is how it kind of ties it all in, is our independent and exclusive domain registrar. Put another way, ODomain is the mechanism through which we execute the accreditation that we now have with ICANN. So that is, it's huge that this is coming out. And I don't think for a minute that this is accidental. I think it's all by design, and Mr. Mufara is pushing these things out as they need to be. And this means that when we come in through OnPassive, through the ecosystem, which is also now complete and being rolled out in its final version, it means that we can snag that personal identity we're talking about, our unique personal identity, much less. And in this way, we can use that as a piece of real estate for building our stuff. Now, drilling even further down into ODomain, he said that it's done and that they plan to include that ODomain in the rolled out process for the new products, which should, I would imagine, is going to happen pretty soon. I mean, I'm not Mr. Mufar, but I would think, hopefully in a week or two. But in saying that, let me remind folks too that we need to have the financials running correctly, I guess is a good way to put it. I mean, I don't think Ash is going to front load any new products while we are still having an issue with finances. Well, it wouldn't do us any good. I don't think. Put it this way. This is what I think that we'll see. My opinion is that once we see the wallets working and the commissions being released and the stabilization process for that financial pillar that you were talking about previously, right? When that's all complete, then we're probably going to start seeing the allocation of sales into the networks, and the release of the products, I believe, at that point are going to be imminent, meaning that we need to have a stable financial platform before we do anything else, lest we invite a whole lot of trouble to us, right? Now, when we do get ODomain, that's going to be our brand identity, along with being able to get single or bulk domains, right? So we can host our business or personal websites. It's going to have quick, unlimited access, easily customized. You talked a little bit about customization and how it's built, and the web builder with OnPassive has actually, it's easy. He says it's easily customized because of the codecs, because there's certain codecs that are being used that makes it really, really user friendly and does a good job of making sure that we get customized, right? And that is going to give us a huge collection of elements that are inside what we could call an industry-based virtual library that we'll be able to choose from when we're developing that website. So that's kind of cool. We're also going to be getting an email service on that business name, which in marketing is going to enable us, or enable a chatbot, or AI-driven chatbot that's going to seriously improve our customer engagement, simply because it programs itself to understand context, and it will respond with necessary action. It knows, or the more you use it, I could say, the more it's going to understand the user and the user's intent. And that's some pretty cool stuff. We're also going to be getting storage, which is to say, cloud storage facility. That's what we do, right? And you're going to be able to, with that, securely register and store all of our web information. Now, choosing our own domain, we're going to be able to do that by checking domain availability from within ODomain. I mean, searching thousands of domains, thousands of them, right? I mean, and keywords. You can search keywords. That's going to give you a huge collection of suggestions so that you can get a very unique name and business going. One of the things that I love about what ODomain is going to do is going to allow us to use prefixes and suffixes in our domain name check. I've never seen that anywhere before. It wouldn't surprise me. I know that Mr. Buffar likes unique, and he's also told us that he's got some unique things coming out. So that's going to help us develop new ideas, or hacks even, I guess is a good word, that's never been used before that I'm aware of. And that gives us a unique opportunity for choosing those names that are going to be associated with us for the rest of our lives. Obviously, we're going to get security, right? For personal or business accounts through our own VPN. That's just simply saying we're going to have fraud protection, identity theft protection, because all of our data and all of the information, our contact details, all of that, it's going to be hidden from the public database, because we're using these very sophisticated SSL certificates, which you might want to go back and explain some of these things I'm talking about. Not to mention, OnPassive doesn't believe in spamming, so we don't have to worry about that email or that system being bogged down or clogged up with stupid either. So that's about all of it for ODomain. I hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you, Jeffrey Collins, and of course Andy still coming for firing us up again. Andy, Jeffrey said so much, but one
he's
thing
not left me anything to say.
Yes, one of those days.
I'm only kidding.
So listen, Andy. So Jeffrey says that ODomain would be, or is going to be, the mechanism through which we are going to execute our relationship with ICANN. If I got you right, Jeffrey, and I think that Andy, on our earlier chat, you had something interesting as well. Which
I'll take a little step back. I found this on the ICANN website, and it says any entity that wants to offer domain registration services under the top level domain with direct access to top level domains registries is required to obtain an accreditation from ICANN. To that end, the interested entity must apply for accreditation and demonstrate beyond the norm that it meets all the technical, operational, and financial criteria necessary to qualify as a registrar business. Now, that is a big statement.
Boom.
Because,
it is absolutely.
And there's an awful lot in there that, again, people don't seem to realize just what this has meant and what hoops we've had to go through to make sure that we get this accreditation. Now, what is interesting is that there are 2,000 odd companies that have this accreditation, but there are very few that will be able to offer all of the bits and pieces that we have. For example, .ai, all of these different domains will start to come through from OnPassive. Okay, and this is where this is like a business in a box, as we've said before. So we have our own domains, and I don't know about you, but I'm going to call it .ai because that's the new thing anyway. So so I've registered collinsmanna.ai and Konfor.ai. So you
just to be, it's going to cost a million bucks to get it back.
just to be on the safe side, you know. Get lots of traffic. But this business in a box scenario means that we have our own real estate, and this is where it gets interesting as far as the value of the business is concerned. Because let me give you an example. Before McDonald's went to South Africa, a very shrewd cookie in South Africa registered McDonald's.com, RonaldMcDonald.com, MickeyD's.com, and various other websites using that name. Now, the thing is, it's like we said, this is a real estate. So at the end of the day, it has a value to it. Now, our own, we're not going to use our own names anyway in our on our websites, on our domains. But what it does do is it creates a value, and OnPassive is going to create that value for us, because in effect, we're going to be able to have the overlay website from OnPassive, which changes on a regular basis, as we all know. So, and I spoke to a web designer the other day who told me, I've never seen a website with 175 pages that changes once a week. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. This is playing in the big league. And again, people don't understand how this makes a difference to us. Yeah, if you've got 175 pages on your website and that changes once a week in its entirety, and they're going to do that for us, what difference would it make to us? Financially, this is the end game, if you like, because not only have we got our own domains, we've got our online shop, but we've got all the details that go along with OnPassive. So our business is almost, what's the right word I need? We become almost like business partners alongside OnPassive, but the real estate that we own is ours, and that has a value to it, as well as what's coming in and all the traffic that's been driven to each of our websites. So when this comes, you know, this is the next level in business, guys. Now, every company has to have normally property of some sort or another. Most of it has a shop, you know, and a shop front. Well, we've got that online. We don't have to pay rent. We don't have to purchase the property. This is business in a box. Now, there aren't many companies that can offer what's being offered right now with what we have, let alone what's being added to it very shortly. But if everyone starts to understand a little bit more about what's going on and how this domain system is going to work for us and what difference it will make financially, then the little light bulb will come on and you go, oh my God. Yeah, mind blown. So, you know, everybody just needs to get a little bit more involved in what's going on, understand what's going on. Baby steps, as I've said before. If you want to your own business and you want to make money, this is it. This is the be all and end all of any business. I can't think and have never found another business that makes life as easy as this one.
Wow. Thank you. Thanks so much, Andy, for the contribution. I've got one serious one from Peter Rogers, yes, who says, branding, your domain name is a significant part of your brand identity. With an old domain from OnPassive, you not only establish a unique online brand, but also align yourself with a reputation. That's very powerful. Thank you, Pete. And I just want to read from Olga, so that way you agree with me, because this is how I feel. Olga says, even though I don't know much about online business and domain, I am so crazy about OnPassive, and I am so blessed to be part of this gigantic global family. I think, Olga, OnPassive made this whole platform for people like you and myself so that we succeed without understanding what it's all about. Am I all right, team? So, Collins, I'll just leave it open and you choose to go where you want to go from. Thank you.
Yes. No, I like the way Jeffrey put it, and Olga have just said, Andy, a lot of things that you guys have just, chipped in tonight, and it just opened my mind now to another direction. One of the things Mr. Ashmofara said on Oron show, that was the day I got it. I said, all right, I've been on passive all this while, and I think I know even 1%, but that was the day I believe the 1% click in when he talks about domain. I was like, yes, I can explain domain. I can, the definition, all of that. But now, the reason why Ms. Ash Mufara was going, to that direction, I was like, okay, this is what it means by being in OnPassive. OnPassive is really bigger than what I think. I looked at it, and when we asked all of those who've been online, there are people who've been online, they've been having business online, and they're doing things, maybe they are trying to mesh with other business. Okay, let me give, for instance, Amazon, Facebook, those who are founding member in most of those businesses. Ask yourself, did you really have a domain name? No, none of them can boast that have a domain name. They are all operating under one domain, Amazon. You are an affiliate, but you are working for most of those companies. Ms. Ashmufara said, no, I want to come out from those traditional way of doing business. You own a domain. Now look at it. Owning a domain is not only domain. You own the product, you own a website. So he said, all right, I was planning to build a business called OnPassive. How do I replicate this business to 1 million, 2 million, 3 million people if they choose to come into OnPassive? So you are not owning OnPassive, but you are owning you. And that's why he said the world will know your name. The world will know your name based on the domain name you choose. Because you are OnPassive is promoting you, your business, not OnPassive. So Mr. Ashval looked at it and said, all right, I want to build this business called OnPassive. I need a product with single sign-on. I need a hosting right data center. I need to have a domain register, which you have already registered for that domain. We have it now. I need what? I need X, A, B, C. I need cash register, all of the 5 pillars. Now, if I've achieved all of these things, how do I replicate the same business to 1 million, 2 million, 3 million people? That's build the same business, but it's not OnPassive. So you come in, you get only domain name, and OnPassive just copy that business to you. So you have the same business like OnPassive. And OnPassive is doing all the way. Somebody will go to, say you come to Konfor site, website. My goodness, the customer service on Konfor site was perfect, was fantastic. You have an issue, you go, where did you buy this product? On Konfor site. OnPassive is doing the mechanism behind, because he's the one doing the magic behind the scene. And when we talk about webmasters, they are managing everything, managing the complaint. But when people come to your site, they said Konfor has the best customer service I've ever seen. Jeffrey Morlock has the best customer service I've ever seen. Now you become not only a domain that Mr. Ashmufara has given you, you become a provider of domain. Everything Mr. Ashmufara built and give us, He productized it, put it into the marketplace for us to own it and start to give it out and make commission. Where will you get that? You don't only own a domain, have a domain, but now you become a domain provider as a product attached to you. You don't only own what? A cash register, you become a cash register provider.
All right, Collins, I would like us to stop here for a second. You will say something maybe Andy and Jeffrey would like to add to that, because we've had a trendy statement this week which says, my domain is my real estate. So is it based on the fact that I would be a domain provider? Can you just clarify that?
That is the real estate Andy and Jeffrey are talking about. If people don't get, you own a real estate in the form of OnPassive. Look at it very well. Though you have that domain name, Mr. Konfor, you've put out right to that map, you know, the highest level of domain, because you can go to GoDaddy, give a cheap domain, you'll be number 1 million down the page. Nobody will even see your business. Mr. Hash Mubarak put us right up there. And the more you hold that domain, remember, Mali Digamo, they tried to get a domain of what? OnPassive 360. It costs what? The way they check, it was not there. There are brokers who are there getting all of those domains, selling it for what? 75 million US dollars. That's what they call real estate. You own a real estate. So tomorrow that single name can worth hundreds of millions, that domain name. Because what? It is crazy that if you start to think about it, that's the real estate you own the products, you own everything. That's a real estate they've given you in your own hands with all the products and the domain, the cash register, everything. It's a real estate. And the name again, just that name, when that name is become a brand, like Peter Rogers said, the brand and the world already knows that name. Go to Konfor site. That name now become what? A real estate automatically, because it can cost hundreds of millions. Only the name. So
oh my God. So it appreciates over time like land. I get it now. And so you are just firing Jeffrey up. I would like him speak, hoping that Andy is going to be calm as usual and wait for his turn. So Jeffrey. So sorry, Jeffrey. Sorry. A key vendor, we have seen your question, and because it's relevant to this discussion, we are going to come back to it. But I'll let Jeffrey speak first because we're on real estate now. Come on, Jeffrey.
Well, I love the idea of the real estate because, you know, that hones in on the value. People understand value, you know, and man, when you had that real estate bubble bust, they understood value lost, right? But think about this. This is another way to look at it to kind of drill it home. There is literally something called domain flipping, right? Or it's a practice of buying and selling domain names for profit, just like you would real estate. I mean, these things are they're in the virtual world. Okay, they're quantum, but they are real and they have real value, and people will buy and flip it. Just like what Andy was saying earlier when he says, well, guess what? We're going to have a .ai. Comfort's going to want Konfor.ai. So I'm going to buy it first. So when she wants it, I'm going to sell it to her at 3 times what I paid for. And people do that. I mean, they literally flip. It involves researching and buying low-cost domain names and then reselling them at a higher price, just like that smart guy with the Mickey D's, right? The goal is to identify domain names with a high potential value, buy them, wait till that value goes up to where you thought it would, and then you sell it to whoever it is that's looking for them. Now, just thinking about that, now think about our own domain name. Think about our brand identity. You guys were talking about that just a little bit ago. A brand identity is made up of what our brand says, what our values are, how we communicate our product, and what you want people to feel or think or how when they interact with our domain or our company, right? Especially our brand identity is the personality for our business, right? It becomes the promise to our customers. In all things, our domain name is who we are online. So it is incredibly important that we get this right and get this to understand that this is not something small. Oh, great. But now people pay thousands and thousands of dollars, not only to set up a website, but to maintain it and market it. I mean, thousands. Look at what OnPassive is doing for us. I mean, a drop in the bucket as far as cost is concerned. But when you talk about value, it skyrockets. So we are so directly in proportionate to the rest of the world where we flip the business model upside down, like Ash is saying. And when you get your mind wrapped around what he's doing with this ODomain and the ICANN and the innovation labs and all of these things, you mentioned the data center, the red cash register, and the OES, which is done. You start thinking about what we have. Oh man, like you said, it'll blow your mind, Andy.
All right. Andy, are you ready now? Gladys says, Ash has given us an opportunity that has always been reserved for the elite in society. This is memory we will never forget, but to cherish. Thank you, sis. Hi, Andy.
Hi. Okay, so where do I go from here? Let's go back to branding a little bit, because Ash has always told us, you know, at some point we will become the hunted. And when you've got a company pushing you forward and doing branding for you, I mean, look, Comfort's doing it with the YouTube channel, so is Jeffrey, so is Colin, so am I, if you like. But the company will really start to drive this forward when we do have our own domains, because branding, as Pete pointed out, is everything. You know, if you brand yourself in a certain way, and Colin's mentioned it, you know, I've had such a great customer services from Comfort's website. Word spreads, word of mouth, whatever it is, spreads, referrals. The business starts to grow simply from the branding side of things. So, you know, when you have your own brand, you can do anything. Now, some of us have got multiple accounts, and if you think about it, OnPassive is a business. We could use one of the other accounts, or you can set up another account underneath you to be able to create your own website, because bear in mind we'll be able to do that, and it's all AI induced, so it's going to be nice and simple to do. But then you brand or sell something else on another website, and another website, and another website. This becomes a system that you can just simply add on to. Now, for most of us, we're not going to want that. We're just going to want what OnPassive does, which is great. And that, if you think about it, they're going to be just adding on things. Now, when you've got your own domain, and we've got 100 million customers within the system, larger companies, and we mentioned this the other day, but larger companies are going to come along and ask to advertise, because the traffic that's going through our websites is quite substantial. So OnPassive is going to come to us and say, by the way, would you like us to put an advert on your website for XYZ company, because they want to advertise? So every time someone then clicks on that advert, guess who gets paid? Our domain, us, more commissions. Everything is an income stream, absolutely everything. And being able to sell domains, as well as being able to have this branding for us, is just awesome. Because I've got numbers going like that in my eyes constantly. Over to you, Collins. Back to the question.
Yeah, sure. Collins, this question, Kivandel, thank you for waiting. This question was directed to you, Collins. Let's say I have 5 OP accounts and I only have one domain. Can I point all 5 of my OnPassive accounts to my one domain via OnPassive domain registration?
All right. So this question is simple, because when you look at it, maybe you already have a domain and you want to bring it into OnPassive. That domain is already taken, because at that time when you create it, you have just one business. But you're talking about 5 OP. Don't look at it as account. Look at it as a business. You have 5 online business, right? Think about a Yahoo Mail or OMail. When you're creating them, you go and you try to select a name. They say the name is already taken. They give you options for you to select. You know, so the 5 business you have online they'll give you the choice to select a domain name. And if you pick that name, they'll tell you the name already exists. Yes, you can migrate one of the domain you have to one of your business, but just look at it that you have 5 business online. I don't think the system, well, that's me thinking that way, looking from the technical point of view, the system will not allow you to use it for your 5 business. But what I would do, if I have and I want to use it, I can say this 1, 2, 3, 4 is the same name, but I'm just putting 1, 2, 3, 4 down the line to pick all. So I make sure I maintain the same domain name, but it's differentiate the domain will be differentiated by numbers down the line. If I have 20 businesses, I can say, all right, Collins 1, Collins 2, Collins 3, Collins 4, because the system will not allow me to pick Collins, because it's different business. They'll say Collins has been taken. Choose another one, choose another name. So I can customize my own name by giving a value, but it's the same me. But I don't know if that's help, but let's wait for Ms. Ashford to come up, and then we have a look, because you're talking about 5 accounts and migrating one to all of them. So I don't know how it will play out.
And can I just make a point here?
Yes, please go for it.
I think, Key, what you have to consider, and everyone else should consider, is each domain is a real estate. So it's better to have 5 real estates than it is to have 1.
Good.
Yeah. And that's the best way of looking at it. It's 5 separate businesses, and each one has a property and a property value. Correct. So that's the better way to look at it.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. If I can touch in on this a little bit, I like the way that you are liking this to properties. And I like the way that you said, each one of your accounts is a business. If you think of a franchise, if you buy a McDonald's franchise and you have several McDonald's, each one of those McDonald's is each a business with its own profit center and its own set of everything going with it. It's not merged with the other stuff. It's all accounted for separately. So each and every one of these are exactly that. Each account that you have within OnPassive will be a business. And you're right. You won't be able to name it the same thing because I can, or the registrar system, it won't let you because it says already taken. That's why it's so huge for us when we can use prefixes and suffixes and the IDNs, the internationals, where you get away from the Latin or the alphabet, where you can use Chinese or Hindi or whatever. I mean, it really opens up what we can name our own businesses. Now, with brand identity, it's good that we're talking and having this conversation, because we need to now is the time that we need to start thinking about what we're going to be naming our business and how we're going to be moving forward with our domain, because there's 4 components to brand. To brand identity. Well, actually, to doing anything good with your domain and having it to look at what it is that you're trying to accomplish. When you start thinking about the components or brand components, is your identity, which is how your brand is going to be seen by others. You got the brand image. Well, let me back up. Brand identity is how you want your brand to be seen. Brand image is how it's actually seen. And you've also got brand culture, and that refers to your core values, what you believe, and how you put those beliefs and examples through your brand. And then the 4th one, brand personality, that refers to the human characteristics, if you will, for like personality of your brand. And these are things that you need to know before you can actually choose a good title for your domain or a business name, something like that. You need to have these things figured out, because if you don't, and you just pick something willy-nilly, man, you're stuck with it. Now you got to work with it. So,
Collins, a question came in from Dr. Masego Katisi. And so Sister Gladys had this to say, domain, she asked that you Collins should explain how domain names get become expensive. I think Gladys says domain names appreciate over time, just like homes, and the better the products you host on it determines how far it will go. Of course, positive is a plus and negative a minus. All right, thank you. And then I like another contribution from Yates Collins before you come on. Yates Pango says it's like a cash cow. It will milk cash for you 24/7. That's what it means by do less and earn more. I just love the contributions. Thank you so much, guys. So Collins, I don't know if you still want to.
Yeah, that's the right answer. I appreciate as time goes on, the value of domain goes. You can, Ash even explained this, that it can be very cheap now, but please always make sure, because when you get a domain, I think you pay every year. It's just on the World Wide Web. It's not controlled by OnPassive, because Mr. Ashford didn't talk about himself where one of his domain was taken. Because he forgot that the date of payment, one of the domain was gone. Because there are brokers out there, as Jeffrey just said, who are just there fishing for good domains. And when they get it, that is it. They'll just keep it, and they know they can sell it for good money. Some of them worth 75 million to 100 million and more. So you just need to get it, because whatever we will have now, that is our, they talk about real estate. That is it. That name is real estate. Have you ever think about, because we know OnPassive will always put us right up there in the search engine optimization, where they will see everybody, because of what Andy explained. Right up there, we will be there. What happened if in the long run, say in 10 years time, let's say 10 years, 10 years time, about 2 or 1, we talk about hundreds of millions of people have visited your website. That website become more popular. Doesn't matter if that domain is your name. The moment you just forget to make the renewal, someone just grab it. That's it. It belongs to that person. Pay for it and wait again for it to go up again, and then sell it for some type of crazy money you'll never imagine that you got it for this thing. Wow. So we should be careful. We just, asset, keep it and protect it, because that is you. That is you. Because it will blow up. Honestly, our domain name will go up.
You know what? There's a caveat in what you said about growing value over time, because just like with real estate, real property, it's got to be taken care of. It's got to be maintained. You can't just let it go to pot, because it won't increase. But guess what? OnPassive is going to be doing that for us, and through that builds our value over time. That's not something we got to worry about.
Yes. And that's the beauty about it, that OnPassive will do everything for us. He is the webmaster. Because I said the reason why they are bringing everything in-house is because they can manage it properly. Like Andy said, our website changed daily. Today we saw a new website. Monday we saw one. Today, just new one. I got up. I said, what is this? Twice this week. So just imagine that our website is changing dynamically every week or every week, weekly. We're getting new website, new product, new optimization, new functions coming in. People are coming in, bombarding that site, coming in, getting their product, what they want and what they need, and then going out. So too will your domain name will increase in value, because Ms. Ashford is doing all of these things for us. And that's why they make that statement that the world will know your name. This is what Ms. Ashford was talking about. The world will know your name. Not only those who are sitting talking like Jeffrey, everyone who is participating in OnPassive, the world will know your name because of the domain that Ms. Ashford is creating and the business model behind it.
All right. Okay, I think
let me just say this to kind of open your eyes a little bit, or not yours, but the people listening. What you just talked about, Collins, if people would just take that one example of what's happening with OnPassive.com, that's a beautiful site, and it changes and it's dynamic. And if you think, Mr. Mufara says, how you do anything is how you do everything. And if you will apply how they deal with that website to how they do everything, you would just explode. Your head, you'd be like, wow. And that's exactly what's happening with what we're seeing with this foundation of everything that we're building here. So thank you.
Okay, powerful. I think Andy has been silent for a while now. Let's be sure that he's still there listening to us. So come on, bro.
I'm definitely listening. Whether I've got anything else to say or not, it's difficult. I'm just thinking about the numbers. I mean, you know, Ash made it very clear the other day that the expectations for OnPassive will be to see OConnect go viral. And when it does, we're going to see an influx of customers like there's no tomorrow. So there's a distinct possibility that we could well have, you know, 100 million customers by the end of the year. And at the moment, there's maybe 600,000 or 700,000 founders that have activated their account. That means we're in the top 1%. The top 1%. And what does that mean? Everybody has an income goal to achieve that they want to achieve. Do you want it later or sooner?
Yeah.
Your choice, isn't it? At the end of the day. But all of these things become a different income stream. And the more you learn about the business each and every day, the more opportunities you're going to be able to look at and go, oh, that person needs this, that person needs this, that person needs this. Yeah. So just baby steps. Make sure that you're working your business because it is your business. Every single position you have is an individual business, an individual domain, an individual brand. So make the most of it. Back to you, Konfor.
Thank you. Collins, there's something you've been saying here and with a lot of excitement, not only today, but I think a few other times. You mean that Mr. Mufara is going to like push us right to the top of the search engine, you know, parapo, others that we know and stuff like that. And then I thought, I'm wondering, we are in our big millions, right? We have a few millions now, many more are yet to flock in. So when all of us are pushed to the top, we all have the same product, and that one person is searching for this. How does it make it different for us that we're going to make it when we all have the same thing and we all are at the top?
Yes, Konfor, that's a good question. A lot of people ask that, you know, because let's say even if we reach 100 million affiliate, what is 100 million for 7 billion internet users? That's just a tiny bit, you know, and the internet space is growing and growing. You know, the internet space now is just like we're just, you know, I can say we are at the internet era, which is really going to explode. But now we're talking about the icon because thanks to Andy read it and was just like, this, I didn't even read it because I've never really go and really make my research on icon. But what Andy read is massive for OnPassive because Mr. Asfara didn't even go and said, let me go low like GoDaddy. It goes above GoDaddy. You know, you become a domain registrar, get that icon certification. Means all the domains that are coming will be where top. Because Mr. Ash said, I will never go low. I want to take you to the top. And that's what he's doing to make sure every OnPassive account, let me say every account or affiliate account or business account will be right at the top. So when you think about 100, we are not up to 100 million, but let me say 100 million. And 7 billion people are searching for this. 5 billion people are searching for what we have. That is massive. It means everybody has an online presence. You know, everybody, whatever you want to search, you go in and you said you want this, it's just up there. And people are just going, buying, and what is happening, the commission is coming while you sleep. Because I quote even Warren Buffett, he said, what I'm doing is just exactly what Warren Buffett said. If you don't look for a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. This is exactly what Mr. Ajinfara is doing. For us to be able to sleep while the system is working for us through the 5.5 billion to 6 billion internet users.
And you know, when you talk about that one price, that one sale or that one product, that is one small piece of a very, very large puzzle. Andy had mentioned that before when he talks about us being the traffic, about how people are going to want to advertise on these sites, and we're going to have, oh wow, yeah. It's huge.
I prefer to think of it as a piece of pie because I like food. Just a tiny slither.
Yes.
But the rest of the pie is coming.
Yeah.
Oh wow, guys, I'm just like, it's very exciting, and I just appreciate. I'm happy that people seem to appreciate what you are doing. People seem to enjoy it. People seem to be learning. Guys, let's not keep this to ourselves. We are in our millions, and everybody needs to get this information. It's all for free. It just takes a click and then sharing. So let's take a quick round just to give a word of encouragement. Andy, would you like to go first?
Me?
Yes, you. Andy Berks, Mr. Berks.
Before Jeffrey, fantastic. Don't worry, I'm not going to steal his thunder. Listen, at the end of the day, as I said, I'm now fully in business mode at the end of the day. So this is a case of proper prior planning prevents poor performance, as we well know, Konfor. So hopefully by now you guys have all got your lists together, and you're going to be able to start offering opportunities to those lists that you've got. Excuse me. And that's just a way of sharing it at the end of the day. Now, there are various methods of advertising, but every method I've tried, to be honest, has cost me a lot of money and not got me very far. So I'm going to stick to the sharing side of things. But as I said, what I'm doing every day is learning something new about the business. It doesn't matter how small or how large it is at the end of the day, as long as you're learning something else about the business, you have to reach your goal. Because every day you're taking a step towards your goal. If you're not doing that, you're just procrastinating, you're never going to get there. So take the time while we're in this situation now where everything is about to go boom. Learn as much as you possibly can. Thanks, Konfor. On to you, Jeffrey.
Wow.
All right, Andy, hand it to you, Jeffrey, then you go for it.
You can go anywhere you want. I mean, I was going to tell Andy, I got lots of storms going on at the same time. I'll just reach into one and just pull out thunder. It doesn't matter. You know?
But, all right. Okay, Collins, go. Collins, go first. That was what I thought. Andy was imposing it on us.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, the last one, what like Andy said, we just have to learn, you know, especially when Mr. Ashmofara comes live. Let us take our pen and paper and read between the lines, right? Because there are a lot of founders, they just want to hear only what they want to hear. And when you want to hear only what you want to hear, you miss the most important thing, like what we are saying here. We never talk about the apple, but you can see our excitement that they are building us real estate. And building a real estate for hundreds of millions of affiliate to come, because let us not limit it to ourselves. Like you asked the question, we're looking at hundreds of affiliates to come. Let's say affiliate to come, and Mr. Ashmofara will replicate this business to all of them. Replicate same business to all of them. So when you look at this, you look at the longevity of OnPassive. There is every reason. There is every reason for us to be happy. But the only way we can really be excited, pure excited, like the way I'm excited, sometimes I'm excited until I don't really know what to say. Now I've reached that stage where I want to talk OnPassive only to those who reason with me. I'm not saying that I don't want to help, but when you are coming to me to ask a question, say Mr. Ashmofara was live today, you need to tell me what you didn't understand. Don't tell me, can you give me an update? It doesn't make sense, because I'm asking myself, where have you been? Were you there? Yes, I didn't get anything. That's really, really crazy. Just tell me this line Mr. Ashmofara said, I didn't quite get it. Please, can you elaborate? Then, yes, we can talk, because I know at that time you just point out the exact area which you don't really understand. So this will really help you to grow and help us to grow. Like last time I said Konfor, I said when somebody introduced you to OnPassive, you see OnPassive through that person's eyes. The only thing you understand was what the person told you. But when you come in and you start to learn and understand, now you'll be seeing OnPassive through your own eyes, based on your understanding. And the way you can understand is by attending webinars, good webinars, Don't go online and look at things. Don't go to the update in OES is your first point of contact. You know, when there's an up, just go and read it and then watch the video. First, second, sometimes I watch it and I read it over and over again just to get a clear understanding. You know, if we all were doing this, you will be excited like me, like Jeffrey, like Andy, and everyone else, those who are really plugged in, Lynn, all of those people, you know, talking about OnPassive. You'll be fired up like Sister Rose. So let us fire up. This is the time for us to take it, you know, and run away with it. Don't rely on anybody. It is now up to you to learn, understand, and grow your business. So Konfor, I'll leave it there.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Somebody was actually pleading that we stop this meeting before they get crazy out there. So that's it, Jeffrey. So you better round up and calm them down as much as you can.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I told somebody the other day, I said, you know, after that corporate webinar, my brain was like feverish for like three days. It was like crazy. But I like how you brought that in, Collins. You know, the whole idea what we're trying to do here is just kind of help people understand the massivity of the foundation that we're building, and ODomain and ICANN and the whole networking and data centers. That is just one huge leg. It's a pillar of OnPassive. And you know, the really neat thing is, in our talking about all this, it's going to help people to understand just how big a structure, not only are we, how the foundation is, but how big a structure we're going to be able to support. So please, whatever you're doing, don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed thinking you're going to be left behind or you don't understand it. You won't be. If I know one thing, it's Ash is not going to leave anybody behind, and he's got a heart for everybody. He's been through it. He knows what it's like, and he doesn't want to see anybody else go through what he's gone through, right? We have an amazing team. They're more than capable on delivering the vision to us, right, on the goals that they've got in front of them. We're going to have a massive impact on the world, right? We're a giant company, a huge company. It's our company. We're going to go to great lengths. OnPassive is going to go to great lengths to back us up. It's going to go as far as it takes for as long as it takes. So just get engaged, have fun, enjoy the journey, and enjoy yourself. We're in a hot spot right now, and moving forward should be at light speed. Mr. Mufar has got some things coming out in the next 6 weeks. It's going to rock us. It's going to rock us, and we're going to be in heaven. Thanks.
Yoo-hoo! That was quite reassuring again, Jeffrey. Thank you.
Yeah.
Really appreciate. And thank you guys for showing up. Thanks for great contributions in the chat. And let's share. Let's make this viral, guys, for the sake of our business, for the sake of our movement. And I know that if you're watching and you've not subscribed yet, you just forgot to do so. Go ahead and do it right now. Click the bell and see
if you have any complaints, send them to Andy at comfortcontour.ai.
Yes, that was a good one. Yes, please. If you have any questions or anything you would need clarification on, send it to Andy Berks at confor.ai. All right. Or preferably on this chat section. That would get it faster to me. So thank you, guys. Thank you, brothers. Thank you, team. And see you soon. See you guys. Bye.